I know went over this. You may already know this. If you've read The Dial of Badass, you definitely know this. But essentially, women will give you one of three different types of tests whenever they first meet you. They will either give you, and sometimes all three, compliance tests, which basically are trying to figure out whether or not you're going to do everything that they want. And essentially, the reason why they do this test is because they want to figure out if you're used to interacting with beautiful women. Because if you do whatever they want just because they're beautiful, then you're probably not used to interacting and attracting beautiful women in your life, which means, of course, that they probably shouldn't be attracted to you as well. And that actually makes you unattractive. Women are attracted to guys who lots of women are attracted to. And then another one is a congruence test, rather, which is a test to see whether or not you're faking your confidence. And then finally, there is a test called a gender role test. And a gender role test is a test to see whether or not you're going to be leading the relationship. So compliance tests, though, are probably the most, I don't know if they're the most annoying. Congruence tests are pretty annoying, too. But compliance tests are the most common when you first meet someone, and especially very, very attractive women. They ask you to do things like wait here while I go to the bathroom, buy me a drink, pay attention to what I'm saying, even in the very beginning, stay right here, or talk to my friend for a little while, or just like basically asking you to do things for them where that might inconvenience you a little bit, to see if you're willing to inconvenience yourself to make them more comfortable. And in the beginning of an interaction, you probably shouldn't be inconveniencing yourself in any kind of way to make them more comfortable. Instead, you should be trading inconveniences. So if they make you do something that's inconveniencing you, you have to trade and make them do something that inconveniences them in trade. So this way to get over compliance tests, rather, like a question like, will you buy me a drink, or are you going to buy me a drink? The way to get over that test, one of the ways, is called adding your own terms. And adding your own terms essentially is where you take the compliance test and you sort of flip it on its head, so to speak, by making them do something instead of you having to do something, or in addition to you having to do something. So let's say, for example, that the question is, will you buy me a drink? So a girl will say, will you buy me a drink? You will say, one of a few things. Let's say that your natural response is to say, sure, or no, I don't buy girls drinks, which I know a lot of guys will say that response because they've learned that buying drinks is a really bad thing. But if you say, no, I don't buy girls any drinks, essentially what you're saying is, no, I've never gotten this before, or I've decided that I hate it so much I'm just not going to deal with it. Now, but if you deal with a lot of very beautiful women, you would have it happen to you so much that you wouldn't just say, no, I don't do that, but let's keep talking, right? That's not really how it works. You would understand that it was really just a test. It wasn't anything more than that. It wasn't anything personal. If you take it personal, then it's not a test anymore. You fail. So you can't take it personally. So instead, you're going to want to add your own terms. And the way that you would do this is you have a series of things that you make them do for you in order to trade for this. Because right now, you're sort of equal. If you thought you were below them and they asked you to buy them a drink, you would do it because it would make you more equal, right? But if you think you're below them, then they're not going to be attracted to you. So really, it's just one of those really smart and really intelligent tests that women give men. So what you're going to do is, instead of coming at it and showing her, hey, I think I'm down here, so I'm going to buy you a drink, or I'm overcompensating, I think I'm up here, so I'm not going to buy you a drink. Instead, you're going to trade her. Oh, we're at the same level, so what are you going to do for me, basically? And instead of saying, what are you going to do for me, which almost always sounds very sexual, if you feel like that's a smart thing to do at that point, if the conversation's already gotten sexual, you can of course take it there. But if not, then feel free to try this out. Try saying, I will buy you a drink, but I'm going to buy you a drink if you blank, right? And so my favorite thing to do, and I didn't teach this before because this wasn't mine originally. I saw this in a video once, and I've used it, oh man, it feels like hundreds of times, and I've gotten so many free drinks off this thing. But it's a great response to a compliance test that is like, buy me a drink or do whatever, right? So you say, all right, you know what, I'll buy you a drink if you pass this. If you pass this test, like, I will play a game. If you win, then I'll buy you a drink. How's it sound? She goes, okay, sure. And then you say, okay. After she says sure, you say, all right, well, but if you lose, you have to buy me a drink. And she'll go, okay, probably she'll be fine with that because she won't want to seem like she's cheap either. She wants to seem like she could buy her own drink. It's not a big deal. She just wants you to do it for her. So you're going to say, okay, this game is called 5 questions. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you 5 questions, and you're going to have to answer them all wrong. If you answer any of the questions right, then you lose. So That's basically the name of the game here. So, we're going to start in a minute, but does that make sense at all? Yeah, sure. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. A lot of girls get this wrong because they accidentally tell the truth, but I have a feeling that you're not going to get this wrong, right? Because you look like you're good at lying. So you just kind of make it lighthearted and fun. So then you say, okay, here's the first question. You go, what city are we in? And she'll answer the wrong city. You go, cool. And you stall for a second. Oh yeah, it's good because we're not actually in that city, so that's good. You got the idea, right? So you just want to talk for a second because the point is to get them out of remembering that this is a game, And you go, okay, second question. Let's see. What's my name? She'll go something. She'll make some name up, Dina. I don't know what she'll say. You'll go, oh, okay. Well, actually, that's my middle name. And she'll go, really? And you go, no, not really. So you're good. So you go, okay, next. Let's see, what city are we in? I think I already said that one, didn't I? Without looking, what color are my shoes? And she'll go, purple polka dots or something. Usually what happens here is women start to mess up because when you say, without looking, what color are my shoes, your subconscious mind recalls the first color that comes to mind, and usually they're recalling the color of the shoes. So usually they'll get this one wrong, but if they get it, they'll get it right, I guess, technically. But some women will get through this, which is good. So you go, okay, good. So then maybe they say the wrong color, which is what you want them to do. And you go, okay, cool. And then you just think for a second, then kind of make like this face, what was I talking about again? Look up and to the right for a second, and then maybe drag it over to the left a little bit and look around, and then go, and without looking at her, say, what number was that again? And she'll go, probably she'll say, that was the third question. And then you go, all right, well, that was a question and you got it right, so you have to buy me a drink. So most women will get that question wrong. So it's a trick question. What number was that again? And she'll go, that was 3, right? Or that was 4, whatever she'll say. That was 3. But some women will pick up on it. They'll go, oh, that was 15. And you'll go, oh, that's really good. That's awesome. And you totally had me. I was trying to get you right there. Have I played that game with you before? And she'll say, no, I've never played that game with you. And you go, that was the 5th question. I'll take a Guinness. Right? So you trick her. There's so many opportunities to trick her in this. And so eventually, essentially what you're going to be doing is you have her play the game. She wins. She's complying with you already. She's following your rules already. And so it doesn't matter if she wins or loses. At that point, you're already leading the interaction. And you're saying, look, I'll trade you. And she's agreeing to it. So you've already set the standard. There are a lot of other games that I would play. I've played tons of them. I've taught a few of these games in different videos that I already have out. But if you haven't seen them, there's some more, and I'll go over more of those sort of drink winning and proposition bet games, which I think are brilliant, in future videos. And I'm actually building a product from scratch right now too about just a collection of all the proposition bet games that I've used to meet and attract beautiful women, and for all different purposes. I've gotten, man, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of drinks for free from women, and then on top of that, they start trying to gain my affection and gain my approval afterwards, because now they're going through the motions of buying me drinks. And because if you lead the body, the mind will follow, which essentially means that if they go through the motions of doing something, they start to mentally think like whatever is associated with that movement. So if she's buying me a drink, she's going to think, her body, her physical response is going to be, I must like this guy. And she's going to have that emotional response toward me as she's buying me a drink. And so really powerful concepts, and I go over that a lot in this course. But there's a lot of different psychological things at play here. But on the surface, you're passing your compliance test, and you're probably getting a free drink out of it. So, and there are lots of other compliance tests. We'll go over those later. But adding your own terms is the best way. You can also ask her to do a jig, or do her best to Mick Jagger, or you can say twirl around in circles like a ballerina, or just ask her to do something. Say, all right, I will, but first I want you to twirl around in circles like a ballerina. If you don't, no deal. She'll go, okay, she'll do it real quick, and then you clap for her, and then you go, okay, go ahead, and you do whatever she said in the first place. So you're just making sure you have the power position there, and that you are the person sort of coming up with the rules here, and she isn't the person coming up with the rules. Try that out, and comment below and let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next